President Trump indicates a potential change on his trade war with China, shaking a cautiously optimistic stock market. India delivers a 48-hour ultimatum to Pakistani nationals, and California grants an early prison release to an illegal immigrant who killed two in a DUI accident. I'm Tony Kinnett from the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. After the President of the United States started signaling that he was ready to change tactics with the trade war with China,
earlier today, Treasury Secretary Gusson suggested that with the tariff rate as high as they are now, it's effectively an embargo of trade between the United States and China. Do you see it that way?
That's true. 145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It got up to that. We were talking about fentanyl, where various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high.
What level do you think it'll come down to if you haven't?
It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We're going to be very good to China. I have a great relationship with President Xi. But they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made. So that won't happen. But they're going to do very well, and I think they're going to be happy, and I think we're going to live together very happily and ideally work together. So I think it's going to work out very well. But no, it's at 145%. It will not be anywhere near that number.
The stock market reacted positively. Yesterday, Scott Bessent, Treasury Secretary, came forward to issue a couple of statements on future U.S. trade policy with China and how he hopes these things are going to shake out.
China, in particular, is in need of a rebalancing. Recent data shows the Chinese economy tilting even further away from consumption toward manufacturing. China's economic system, with growth driven by manufacturing exports, will continue to create even more serious imbalances with its trading partners if the status quo is allowed to continue. China's current economic model is built on exporting its way out of its economic troubles. It's an unsustainable model that is not only harming China, but the entire world. China needs to change. The country knows it needs to change. Everyone knows it needs to change, and we want to help it change because we need rebalancing too. China can start by moving its economy away from export overcapacity and towards supporting its own consumers and domestic demand. Such a shift would help with global rebalancing that the world desperately needs.
Adding to the electronic tariff exemptions, the president is also expected to exempt steel, aluminum, and certain car maker parts from tariffs as well. This is according to the Financial Times. The president also stated that he was not seeking to fire Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, which also prompted a small spike in the market.
It's not good.
Mr. President,
I don't want to talk about that because I have no intention of firing him.
Mr. President.
On a slightly different international front, tensions are escalating between the nuclear powers of India and Pakistan after India ordered all Pakistani nationals currently under the SAARC visa exemption scheme to leave India within 48 hours. This is after the Islamic terror attack left 26 dead in the Kashmir region of India. President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, of course, expressed condolences to the Indian people after the horrible Kashmir terrorist attack.
Hey guys, good afternoon. It's great to be here in Agra. We obviously just visited Taj Mahal with my family, one of those beautiful historic sites in the world. It was really special to get to see it, especially with the kids, especially as completely deserted as it was. Obviously, President Trump visited last time he was in India, and it was a great honor to see it. We've had a very successful visit. I want to just, of course, issue our condolences to the people of Kashmir who were affected by this terrible terrorist attack. The president's already spoken with Prime Minister Modi. I believe I'll be speaking with him later this afternoon. And obviously, we're providing whatever assistance and help we can provide to the government, to the people of India. But this has been a wonderful visit. The people here have been so welcoming, so kind to us. We're sad to leave, but excited to get back home.
25 of those killed in the terror attack were Indians and 1 was Nepalese. Additionally, India's External Affairs Ministry said on Wednesday night that the Indus Water Treaty will be held in abeyance with immediate effect until Pakistan credibly and irrevocably abjures its support for cross-border terrorism. In addition to the suspension of the Water Treaty and the canceling of the SVES Pakistani Visa Exemption Program that allows certain Pakistani nationals to work in India, India has also ordered military advisors and the Pakistani High Commission to exit New Delhi within 1 week before becoming persona non grata. India has also said that it will recall its own military advisors from Islamabad. The deterioration of relations between India and Pakistan, which were never that great to begin with, given the two's rather unstable nuclear arsenals, is a serious cause of concern for the international community because nukes aren't typically known for, once they explode, staying within the borders of the country they're targeting. We'll continue to provide any updates that we can as this story develops. And the state of California is releasing Oscar Eduardo Ortega Anguiano, an illegal immigrant who killed 2 teenagers in a drunk driving accident, from prison early. The individual was sentenced to 10 years in prison for gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated, resulting in the death of a young American couple, but is only going to have served 3 years when he is released. The Department of Homeland Security is extremely unhappy with this, as is the entire Department of Justice. The Department of Homeland Security's Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told Virginia Allen over at the Daily Signal, quote, "This criminal illegal alien should have never been in our country. Sanctuary State California is letting Ortega Anguiano out after serving just 3 years of a 10-year prison sentence. ICE has placed a detainer with the California Department of Corrections. We hope California law enforcement will work with us to ensure this criminal alien is not released into American communities." As Allen states, given California's sanctuary policies, it's currently unclear whether the state will cooperate with ICE in the first place.
Well, first of all, listening to the heartache from those 2 parents is truly heartbreaking, and our hearts are with them. And not only are we praying for them, but this administration is taking action. The Department of Homeland Security and ICE have already said that a detainer has been put on this individual if he is to be released, and he will immediately be transferred into ICE custody, we hope, if the state of California complies. And if not, the Department of Justice will be seeking a conviction against this man where he will spend time in federal prison for taking the lives of those 2 young Americans. So these results speak for themselves. President Trump is not going to tolerate illegal immigrant crime. And this individual case represents everything that is wrong with our immigration system. This individual was twice deported, but was allowed back into our country by the previous administration, took the lives of 2 young Americans, and is now barely facing any consequences. We will not tolerate it. We will not stand for that, and we will continue to enforce our nation's immigration laws and ensure that illegal immigrants who not only break our nation's immigration laws, but then further commit heinous acts of violence against law-abiding American citizens in our country are held to the fullest extent of the law.
A U.S. attorney in Los Angeles is seeking to put Ortega Anguiano behind bars for an additional 20 years for violating U.S. immigration laws after California releases him from prison. Bilal Aseli, a U.S. attorney for the Central District of California, wrote on X Wednesday that his office had filed a felony immigration charge against the defendant. Quote, "If the state of California will not seek the full measure of justice against this individual, the Department of Justice will." Attorney General Pam Bondi called the early release of the illegal immigrant, quote, "absolutely unconscionable," and pledged that the Justice Department will work with ICE to make sure this illegal alien receives full punishment for his crimes. We'll include the full article from Virginia Allen in the description. There is far more to talk about in the top news of the United States and the world at large than just this 10-minute segment, so head down to the description below to make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast so you can join us this evening at 7 p.m., where we'll be digging into the rapidly changing situation between the United States, Europe, Russia, and Ukraine, as well as updates out of Colorado on an abortion clinic which is planning on hosting a free, quote, sex ed summer camp, end quote, for children. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.